Everyone. It's indeed a privilege to talk to the very inspiring Miss Dhanya Ravi. Dhanya Ravi, ma'am, is born with a rare genetic disease called Osteogenesis Imperfecta, and she is known as India's glass woman. She is a recipient of state and national awards. She's a two times TEDx speaker and JoshTalk speaker. Currently, she's working as an executive for Enable India. Ma'am has inspired many differently able people to improve their lives and careers. She's active in mobilization and sensitization for OI rare diseases and disability community individually and in collaboration with a lot of other NGOs in India as well as USA. Ma'am is also one of the founder trustees of an in house NGO, Asman Foundation Trust, and volunteers audio reading for persons with visual impairments. She's also creative writer in her spare time. Ma'am, so I just wanted to know, generally people are saying they don't have 24 hours, even 24 hours is very less time to do just a 9 to 5 job that we tend to, get or to pursue their hobbies. How do you manage to do so many things, being a speaker, being a writer, being an advocate to, the disability community? How do you manage to do all of that in one, for like so many days and hours? I'm sure. How what is the time management mantra that you follow?
Hi, so thank you so much for this warm introduction and having me as a part of this session series. I was just hearing about the work that you all do, and it's very very inspiring.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I feel really blessed to be here as one of the session to share some stories and talk around. I think Sheila, like whatever the time that you have is the same time of what I have, and that is not something that it's gifted me more or less or anything. And but I feel like it's about I'm not perfect, and secondly, whatever you read right now, it's not something that I done on one day basis. It's a journey, and it has been contributed in every day and every minute, and that has made the impact, I would say. And
Okay.
it's also the willingness about how you want to contribute, and also the way we want to explore life as such. And I think whatever I'm today, it is the kind of situations that has lead me to who I am. And also I'm a very curious person, and I always like believe there is a light in every situation. And each time when I just cross through it, I get all these kind of labels. That's happening.
Do,
And there's like a lot of beautiful people whom I meet through this journey. And this is not just Danya alone. There is a contribution of many little people.
so what motivates you, ma'am? What is it that makes you get up every day and like, okay, I've got to do this no matter what? I mean, there must be something that is your, inspiration or motivation to be all charged up and do all the good work that you're doing.
Okay. So I think we really don't have the control on that to get up every day morning. I still don't know what tomorrow is get. But the idea is like for me, like I said, I think in our life, one of the most beautiful time or the zone in our life cycle is childhood. And my childhood has been that learning space with my health, the condition which has contributed. So, uh, most of the time for 18, 20 years or 22 years, you're on the bed, and you really have no clue what life is still going to be there.
Hmm.
And so for me, the situations, I come from a very conservative family, being a girl, and again a girl with disability, the
Yeah.
society. So there is a lot that has been, which has been, going around in my ear. on my every birthday, I would say. It's
Hmm.
a celebration, it's a cry, it's a hope, it's an inspiration. It's also the moment of clueness of what next, right? So
Yeah.
growing up on, meeting all these situations, so that's where a self realization of myself, or the kind of belief that I have, is that I think each of us, our life is very important and it is very precious, and it has a gift. And for me, the kind of even the struggles I go through, the need of a tomorrow for me, or
Hmm.
what I'm doing, is just that I, until my last breath, I have the accountability of my life, and I want to make the best out of it, and that responsibility keeps me going.
Wow, that's really profound, ma'am. To have that accountability that, it is your life, it's how you live it. That's in your control. I think that is really something which many of us kind of forget, that in our day to day activities, or day to day, we cry over things, we feel bad and sad about all of these things. So what I wanted again to ask is, like you said, that in the society that you live in, being a girl child with disability, I'm sure a lot of people would have spoken quite negatively, right? Saying that, oh, how can you do this? And that too all on your own. Or, like, are you sure you can travel? It might be out of concern, it might be out of whatever their intentions might be, but I'm sure you would have heard all of these things, where they would keep asking you that, do you think that you can do this? Or they would keep putting that doubt. How do you manage to get out of that doubt zone, especially when so many people keep asking that again and again?
Yeah, so I would say, like, I'm someone who has got those questions a lot. I know they literally make us feel worthless, or even, like, I remember, like, when, so something which is always, I really can't forget, or something that which actually made things, empower, I would say, are like, Danya, like, uh, whether you'll be a burden to the family, will you work, how do you manage your menstrual cycles,
Hmm.
what exactly, how the society will see, what life is after parents, and all of that. And that too, they ask when we are in a very vulnerable state, rather than empowering as a, showing a helping hand. These are the questions, right? So I think, it is these questions that has actually helped me who I am. So that itself, like, that's when I started, using, just making myself more productive. Like, I remember, like, I've never been to school, mainstream schooling, because of the lack of accessibility. And we are at home, and my friends are my parents, my brother, and literally, like, my neighboring friends who come every day 1 hour in the evening after the school hours. Entire 25 or 23 years, your friends are just these four people, and the
Hmm.
world seems just that, right? And how do we grow from that? So that's when this internet has helped me. Social media, I started, connecting with like-minded people, and slowly my network grew, I would say. From then I started to volunteer, so something which is again, like, um, assisted me always, like, even today, when we feel less enough, or unworthy, or where there's a lot of comparison that is happening around, and you have to be with the people and all of that, whether in your workplace or wherever you are, right? So keeping up there, what has helped me is again this thought of belief system, that you don't have to match with anyone apart from you, right? So this journey is me alone, and when I look back, my journey has been so liberating, and I think that is something which has to be felt grateful for. and this has helped me to overcome many of my uh, dark areas, I would say.
Yeah, like Dumbledore says, right? I don't know whether you're a Harry Potter fan or not. Harry, have you read Harry Potter? The
Yeah, of course,
yeah.
yeah,
So in there, the Dumbledore says, right? You just have to switch on the light for the
yeah.
darkness to get over. So I
Yeah,
think that light surely comes from within. You really are a positive, like even when you're talking, right? I can see that, yes, you look at the positive sides. You don't look at the part that, okay, yes, you accept that, there are dark times too. But you kind of take it in your stride and you go ahead with it. I think that's what optimism is all about, where you show that you might, it's not that it's going to be a happy time, but the fact that you're going to be okay, even if the times are not so happy. So
yeah.
kudos to you, ma'am, on that.
Thank you.
Could you tell us a little bit more about your NGO, as in, yeah, Asman Foundation Trust? What work do you guys do, and a little bit more about that.
I primarily work with like two, three areas, from a very long time. I, as a person, through the community, through the trust, the activities that I kind of go through are again, awareness about genetic diseases, and also spreading the having a universal design of education system in the society, so that education is accessible for everyone. And then again, with the disability sector, assisting with employment, with the organizations that I work with, and again, providing assistive solutions. And the other area which are right now, the current project which I'm working on, is called Humans on Wheels, where we're trying to identify wheelchair accessible spots in our country, and making it aware to the beneficiaries, and also hand in hand trying to have more volunteers built through the community system.
Yeah, especially I think, ma'am, in the buses, we just like now at least schools, colleges, hospitals, they have started having wheelchair
Yes,
accessibility.
yes, yeah,
But
yeah,
when even trains to a certain extent, but when it
yeah.
comes to buses, it's at least in Kerala, we have seen it's a bad scene. I mean, you don't have any way, because we were planning out for some of our beneficiaries to come for an just a art therapy in an open space, and we realized that those who were in wheelchair just we could not lift them up and get them into a bus, even if we would have rented a bus. It is so difficult. So I think now the next step, if the government or anybody or everybody who is listening to this should talk more about, is how people can be more independent by going by in a public vehicle, rather than hiring a taxi and getting a ramp and all of that. I think
Yeah,
that.
and the cost involved is also very huge. So we do have accessible transportations, but ideally, what is happening is there is a gap. One and two, people are not much aware of the timings or how to you get it, under your wheels. So that's where we're trying to look upon, where through this voluntary community initiative, we're trying to bridge that gap by building more awareness. So now there is a lot of accessible uh, places that has been around, but the idea is like again, the human system first goes through the hey, this is not there, but
Yeah.
rather let's look on to the things that's there. So we're just trying to pick that good part of it. We're just starting with it, and yeah, we're open to have more volunteers to support for this. Yeah.
Where are you based out at, ma'am? Where is this Asman Foundation based out at?
So, Humans on Wheels, the current project which I'm working on, like I said, it's a pan India project. You
Okay.
just have to have a volunteering thought, and we'll be, sharing a lot of, mentoring sessions, and also understand, make the idea is to build more volunteers through this initiative.
So you
So
have
it's
a
a pan India
website
thing. We just have
also?
to, yeah, you just have to get in touch with me or through the Humans on Wheels platform, and will be there to take them forward. And again, the other hand is to, like rightly said, we are I'm dreaming of where persons with disabilities or on wheelchair users go to the every place where all of us go, right? Like,
Yeah,
be it a bus, pharmacy, ATM, or maybe a restaurant, theater, everywhere, beach and all of that. So we'll be spotting out all these areas where they can all, I think the world is for everyone. We are just
absolutely.
making that space for them.
Great.
Wow. I'm so happy to see that excitement in you.
No, it's really a good work. It's very difficult to actually ensure that things happen, things fall in place. But when they do, the kind of satisfaction one gets that yeah, you were a part of it, in getting it into completion or achieving that particular goal where everybody, is independent enough and go wherever everyone can go, that sort of a thing. I think that is a huge point to be appreciated. So I really really hope that you're able to do that. So ma'am, yes, you have done a lot of work, but what is the biggest challenge that you have faced doing anything, be it running a trust, or for that matter with human on, or working for a human on wheels? Is there any major challenge that you have faced? And I know you're an optimist, so you're very positive in life, but I'm sure there have been challenges which you have faced and you managed to kind of jump over those obstacles. So the reason why I'm asking is so that the youth of today, when they listen to you, they are able to know, okay, fine, probably this is how I change my mindset, or this is the magic mantra where I can face my challenge head on, instead of either putting my head into a sand and thinking that there is no challenge at all and not doing any work, or probably running away in the opposite direction. So is
See, I think challenges are there in everything that we do, right? Like, but the idea is to see now the initiative or anything that we come across. The idea is when you come together, let's meet it together, and I think that's where it becomes very easy and graceful. So, what is actually bothering you? Let's come, be together, and let's face it gracefully. So the idea is, like I said, now, just getting you an example with humans on wheels, there is maybe a couple or maybe a single person with disability who has been in the home for 10, 15 years, or aspiring to go to a restaurant to have a meal together, and they don't know which is the accessible location. And probably through this initiative, we will be letting them know, hey, we have this cafe which has been very accessible, and
sorry ma'am, are you there?
you
Yeah,
as a voice. Yep.
yeah.
I'm,
Sorry,
did
your
I
your
just
this thing froze for a little on my screen. Huh.
Okay, no, I was just saying that humans on wheels like works with two vision board primarily. That
Okay.
is one, like I said, a person with disability who has been on the indoor for long years and who are aspiring to step out, want to have a coffee with a friend or with someone,
Hmm.
and they're stepping out after 15, 20 years. Imagine the kind of joy that you'll be gifting. So that's the one side of it, and the other side is again, volunteers will also have a human touch, which is something which many of us these days are not having.
Yeah.
And on the ground reality, there's a lot of experience that they will be learning through. And also, I think there will be a lot of mentoring sessions that we will be providing them, where they will reflect more, and as a human, they'll start seeing a different dimension of themselves in a very positive way. So that's that the whole story of where we're trying to lead this project is about volunteerism and awareness about RAMs and in a universal design of accessibility.
Yeah, because what I have realized, at least while being with Mind Empowered, is that when you volunteer for something, your entire, not just your physical well-being, but also your mental well-being. It improves quite a bit, because as
Absolutely.
humans, we are, we want to give. It is not that we don't wish to, and but when we give and we see that, oh, we have brought joy to somebody, because somebody is happy because of us, that's a different high altogether. It is like
Yeah.
you don't need any substances to give you that high. It's totally a different experience. So I even and college youth of today, thank before, during at least my times, we never had so much of the volunteering, opportunities. Now even in schools and colleges, I'm finding that people are encouraging volunteerism. And many of our psychologists and psychiatrists have told us also that volunteering helps you become more positive, you know.
And it also builds a self realization and purpose in life as well, right? Like, I remember, like, say, I some of you already know, like, most of my times are spent in Bangalore, and I see there are a lot of volunteers around during the weekend who runs for painting the government schools. Lot of volunteering activities are there. But when we look in Kerala, I would say there is only NSS volunteers or palliative care volunteers. And literally, there is a large number of students who really don't know the other side of volunteering.
We
All
are
they
helping,
know
we are going to be doing that.
all we know is NSS and palliative care,
Yes,
which is beautiful. I'm honoring them. I mean, totally appreciating for what they're doing. But the question is, like, how many of you are actually making the space more equitable for others also, right? Like,
yes,
and also we have this mindset like volunteering means it's a seva, it's a service. No, actually, it's complementing something that you can, and you are just what you have more, you're just giving
doing
off and you're sharing it with someone who really requires or seeking for it. And
absolutely.
that's where I think we get into the balance, right? Of we are part of the society, or we are with the the community. Yeah.
And we are giving it back. No, thankfully now, at least towards Kochi side, we are getting a lot of volunteers, especially for whether it is for, like, teaching at government schools, or with respect to going to old age homes, or at homes where there are destitute women, or even for differently abled children. So we are getting a lot of college volunteers who are not from NSS, or for the palliative care, obviously. So that way, I think we are seeing slowly that the trend is becoming better. Metro cities, yes, there are a lot of volunteer organizations, and I would include Bangalore also in that, because now it's an IT hub, so it's kind of a metro city. But yeah, in smaller cities also now, slowly, at least where Mind Empowered is, we are ensuring that, and
Yeah.
more importantly, it is helpful for the emotional well-being. That's what we have found. How do you spend your free time, ma'am? Whatever, I don't know whether you get a free time, but how do you spend free time on yourself, with family and friends? So what do you do generally?
I love music and movies. I mean, that's the free time I would say. But generally, I am kind of occupied with God's grace, with something on the other will always be there on my plate to do. So I think I'm much occupied, and yeah, my time I would usually spend with more with movies, music, and some relaxation methods.
Okay.
And yeah, it's more of those, I would say. Yeah.
So relaxation methods in the sense like breathing techniques, meditation, those kind,
Yeah,
or
all of that. Yeah, a lot of things involved in that, and a lot of, like, again, some music therapies and breathing. So that's a routine that happens there, right? Like breathing technique. Those are the routines, I would say. But
okay.
yeah, just consciously making yourself more grounded. Yeah.
Oh, all right. And what is the biggest learning so far that you have had?
That's a lot of it, right? And I don't think it's one. I think every day we're learning with something on the other, and it's beautiful to see. how the world is going around. And like I early said, and for me, one of my biggest learning, I would say, there is lot. There is,
Something
you
that
know,
strikes your mind, as in it's like something, oh wow, it's good that I learned this today.
I would say in everything there is learning. I'm not trying to be into any saint level, but generally I would say even at workplace or me as a self or me with any connections with person, there's a learning with everyone day to day I have with. And something which I'm keenly right now, what keeps me more fantasized or learnings are again about whether the patterns, and since we have the group is about mind and psychiatry, psychology, I would say like I'm more into like trying to check the family patterns and how
Oh,
things are, and being more rebel these days and how things are going. So these are something that it's something which I'm really discovering day by day
day.
on one or the other.
Okay. So let's. Okay, which is your favorite movie? Like you said that you love watching movies. Any favorite movie that you like, or all movies are just. It's okay. You don't. You watch it just to
No,
enjoy this.
not all movies. No, no, no. I don't do that. I do take some pics and watch. I don't watch all movies, but yeah, generally like I more watch more of South Indian movies.
Okay.
Largely I watch South Indian movies, but again, I like movies which has some real life stories, experience about human connections, and more of that, more authentic and love.
So,
Yeah.
how many languages are you proficient at, ma'am?
So I actually know to speak only English and Malayalam, but
Okay.
I kind of understand all regional languages.
Oh, you do? Wow.
I understand, yeah, I understand. Like, be it any language like Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, yeah, all of that I understand, but no, I'm not fluent in speaking back.
That, yeah, okay. As long as you understand, that is what it's okay. Communication is both ways, yes, but you understand, you communicate back in English. I'm sure the other person will also understand that. Okay. What about you said you love listening to music? So, any special music, any special kind of music that you like, or
More of Carnatic, yeah, I enjoy singing classical songs.
have you
Uh,
learned music, ma'am?
No, but music is something which I've never learned, but that is something which keeps me going.
Ah. Right. Any quote that you relate? So now I'm asking you these, those rapid fire sort of questions.
Yeah.
So all serious questions are done now. So any,
No, I think no, I don't want to quote anything at anything right now which comes in my mind, but I would say just believe in yourself. I'm not picking up any author's quote at this moment, but there are some beautiful affirmations that I really like. So I would just say that believe in yourself and trust the process.
yeah,
Just don't give up.
yeah,
I
the
mean,
universe is all trying to make you go forward, never
yes,
backward.
yes, yes. You just have to be willing to, you know, just allow the universe to work on you.
Exactly. That's really a nice saying.
Yeah.
Any secret talent that you have?
Oh no, I don't think so. Still discovering.
Still discovering. Okay. Has anyone pleasantly surprised you lately?
No, actually, I don't. I really feel like why the world is like that. All my friends don't surprise me. They just come and tell me, "Hey, Danya, take it. This is for you." So
Aw.
the few surprises that I go through. So I'm very happy about that part. Yeah,
You have
I have
wonderful
such beautiful
friends.
people around me. I
Yeah.
think that's the most beautiful thing. Yeah.
Yes. And who inspires you the most? Have like a role model of yours that you feel that, yeah, this is someone whom I would really like to learn a lot from. It might be your own amongst your own family members. It can be some famous celebrity.
So this is something which I've been, from a very young child. I've been trying to, I'm just shaped this way that I don't like to get inspired by any person. because I feel then I will start to imitate like them. A part of me will become like them. So our own identity is just getting lost there. So I primarily don't like to get inspired by anyone, but there are some wonderful people who have stood with me or even with me now in many ways. Like and I think each person plays different roles in our life, right? Like just getting this story of a plant or a seed
Hmm.
that takes a support of a mud, sand, air, water, the entire nature
Support system.
system. So and they also have the saying, right? It takes a village to raise a boy or a child, right? So
Yes.
I feel we as a person is is nurturing at the best because of many beautiful people. So for me, is I don't have too many friends, but I do have some wonderful people in my life where I just count down like just five fingers of people. Like it can be my parent, my brother, and some real good friends who have always been with me. So I think all of them have contributed in my life in one way or the other, and that is the kind of legacy that I also like to carry.
Yeah. In fact, I think you are the one who inspires, a lot of people. So yeah.
Actually, no, you shouldn't get inspired by me, but
No, more,
rather there is
more
something
moving.
new or something learning, something good about me. Yeah, you can take that learning from me.
Exactly. So, inspiration is more or less what I mean by saying is that people will, at least I have learned so much. I consider myself as a positive person, but listening to you, I felt that, like, you were like, you are really, really. I might be negative towards a lot of things too, but I try to make myself positive. But for you, it just comes naturally. Even when I was telling you that buses are not there, we need to look at that too. And you're like, why don't we look at things which are already there for people? So it's an
Yeah.
inherent thing. So I'm sure a lot of people are gonna learn from you. So what is a new skill that you would like to pick up? Learn something.
Just to keep my wallet little more stronger, I'm just trying to do some skill development.
Okay.
So just working on some skills. Yeah.
Oh wow. All right. And last question. Any advice to our audience that you'd like to
No,
give?
I don't think I need to do that. We're all stronger on one way the other, but I'm just sharing one realization of my life. If that makes any sense,
Hmm.
I think that is one thing that each one of you need to carry is that, like, for me, my life has taught me the importance of each organ. And today, I feel a lot of us are taking our journey more granted or not being responsible to our human system. So I think, if I, as a person, is able to find this and find something good about it, I think each of us need to take this pause. We are living in a very beautiful era where we have lot of things supporting us, and let's make the best out of it. And just use yourself more positively and spread positive good vibes.
Yeah.
And there is a lot which people really don't know, and maybe you can be that person who can share
Sure.
that abundant. Like I said, when I look for the educational system, I see my like when the schools were not accessible, my teacher came down and taught me for 10 years voluntarily at home. And how many of us today, we really know what's happening in our own family members, right? So the kind of situational awareness that she had back then, where she had like four daughters and a lot of responsibility at home, she took, hey, I'm going to teach Danya every day 1 hour, right? So that that situational awareness of something that she had, that was a knowledge that she wanted to share for someone who was seeking. And I was really seeking for some academics and beyond that, a knowledge system, right? So that was something that she had and she gave it to me. and the kind of trust she built, or
Yeah.
what. So the similar way, I think still the world needs to reach a greater place, and probably it is we who can take that lead and should take it. And I think uh, Victoria Auntie could just share knowledge, but we today being so much accessible to many things, there is a lot that we can give to those who are
Absolutely.
seeking. And I think that is the impact we need to leave behind.
Yes, that's true. The legacy that we can leave behind, right? Yes, I think we all are thankful to Victoria Auntie for the extra, that extra step that she took. She need not have taken it, but she did take it.
Yeah.
So yes, we will always be thankful to her, and may God keep blessing her for a long, long time. So thank you, Dhanya ma'am. Thank you so much. The talk you have this ability to spread positive vibes, and I'm so glad that you took time out of your schedule. I know you have just traveled, and you kind of like just you're sticking to your commitment. So thank you so much for doing this for our youth and the people who will be listening to you. Thank you, ma'am, and I hope you have a beautiful weekend ahead. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, and I'm really sorry. I think couple of times we had to move the session,
That's
but I'm glad
okay.
it just happened today, and I really wanted to make this happen.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your patience, love, and more positive vibes. Be spread it, because I am someone who has gone through a lot of emotional and mental stress and all of that, so I really know the kind of physical pain and emotional breakthrough that all of us go through. And this is a very beautiful space. And thank you once again for having me.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.